Good morning. You're visiting me today on what feels like a proper winter day, even though we're still in autumn. Um, it's below freezing. There's ice floating on my uh, quench tank. Well, it's not floating. It's a nice layer of it on top. Now it's floating. So, good day to start the day with some gloves on. As time goes, I'll probably end up taking them off as I warm up. Got a hot beverage here to keep warm. But we're still not too cold to get to smithing this morning. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll start as I do every stream with my beginner project. The leaf keyring bobble. Then I'm going to finish up a slitting chisel I was working on at the end of the last stream. It's about close to done. It needs to be, I want to get the bevel pulled back a little bit further, and then I want to make it so that it's a hexagonal shape so it doesn't go rolling off. Although this fishtail would probably prevent it from rolling off anyway. Then I need to normalize it, which means it won't get done this live stream. Then when I come back to it next, I'll go ahead and harden it, temper it, and then sharpen it. All right, got a good fire going. This anvil is so cold that the WD-40 I sprayed on it had solidified. Hey Jeff, how are you? I'll clean up this taper where I took the leaf off last time. For the beginners out there, you'll have discovered by now, if you've been watching me, that you go from one leaf to the next leaf because you end up creating the taper for your leaf in the taking off of the leaf from the from the main bar. So now we just have to do a little cleanup, and we can begin the next leaf. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly, I don't think you can see that from there. No, I don't have it in view. I'll go ahead and set up though. Take off the ragged tip I created last time. File that off with the hot rasp. Oh, come on. I need to mount it up in the vise and then I can do it. Normally, I don't leave a ragged tip, but the way that came off last time, we got a ragged tip. Well, this rasp is not going to work with that shape, so let's go and get the file instead. There we go. There we go. No accidental cold shuts. Cold shut for the newbie out there is when you fold metal over on top of itself and it basically creates a wrinkle or a weak, ends up being a weak point in your material, and you end up having things snap off because of that. All right, there we go. Pull you back over here. Now we don't have anything ragged at the end of the piece there. Get it hot and make it go. Yeah, my YouTube stream isn't up. Interesting. Let's see why that is. Well, Jeff, you are watching on YouTube. Obviously, I can see your icon. So I don't know why Gid thinks the YouTube stream's not up. And as I'm warming up the area, apparently there's some ice dripping on my Mac, and that's never a good thing. So let's see if we can prevent my Mac from getting fried by water droplets. All right, so back to that. So Restream is the mechanism, Gid, that makes it so that I can actually stream one place, which is Restream, and it then streams to multiple places. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, because my brother's on Twitch, and then because I could, I'm up on my two Twitter accounts and my LinkedIn account. And you'd be surprised at how many folks I get from each of those. They don't watch live, but they see the fact that it's there and appreciate my sharing there. So I don't know why. Let's go ahead and I don't know why you aren't able to see it on YouTube if Jeff can. Go over here and scroll back and see if I see any indications. No. Even Stream Elements commented that on my YouTube account. So let me switch over to the tab and see what the Stream Info says about YouTube right now. Nope, not Stream Info. There we go. Channels. Channel says it's going fine. I don't know, dude. I have to admit that I am missing a couple of folks I'm normally used to seeing here. So, I'm take one more look. Via my browser just to see what it says Restream is up to. I did have to re-authenticate with Facebook this morning and LinkedIn. So who knows, maybe a security token has expired for the other one too. Done. Obviously, we're having the very exciting static image and so forth like that going on, but yeah, I don't have anything here that indicates there's a problem, so I'll just have to go with it and hope for the best. Oh, cool. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, Gid said that for some reason his account wasn't able to play it So I don't know. Restream being stupid today or something, maybe, or YouTube. The internet is a crazy place. And I helped build the damn thing. Put ourselves a steep taper on here, on two sides. Let's get it hot again, finish that up. Weird. Hey, Daniel. So YouTube being stupid this morning. Unique in unappreciable ways. Okay. Chilly one up here. Gideon, in front of everybody here, let me say congratulations on your progression through the academic career. I don't think I have to call you doctor yet, but man, you're a lot closer to it than I am. Don't do that at home, people. I'm wearing a glove right now, leather glove, so I could get away with brushing off a piece of coal. All right, we're gonna go back here. I'm gonna take a bigger chunk this time than I normally do. Oop, slipped. But fortunately, I slipped upward, where I'm gonna end up thinning it out there anyway. Go. So, yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to calling. Calling Lisa doctor, definitely. Oh no! Did you have a tree fall? And hopefully it didn't fall on your house like it did on mine. That was a fun experience, he said facetiously. All right. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and rounding side. Smooth it a bit. Let's take another little chunk. Smooth it a bit. All right. Coming along. Landed between the house and the garage. Man, you got lucky. Glad to hear you had a little bit of fortune, despite the work it's going to involve. All right. around to the flat side. And we'll go ahead and transition to taking it off the bar. We're not going to take that too far down. Otherwise, it'll just come right off when I don't want it to, like it did last time. Instead, we'll knock off corners. And I think that's where I make my mistake every time. I need to knock off corners first. Then start with the reverse taper. This is going to be an interesting looking leaf based on what I just did accidentally. All right. Oh, that's fortunate. The forge is fine, the garage is fine, the house is fine. You just have to do some work around a tree. I had a tree in my driveway I had to do the same thing with. Still work you didn't plan for, right? Warm it up a little bit more. All right, that stem is now as stem shaped as it's going to get. It's time to make a leaf shape. Get a hammer ready that I like to use. Block and tackle's the way to go, but I don't own one yet. So it would be me, it'd be probably get somebody else, because I don't have a 3/4 ton truck either. Hey Eric, yeah. Doing good. It's cold this morning here in the Pacific Northwest. Oh yeah, appreciate that. Hit that like button. I probably need to turn down my volume just a hair. There we go. All right. Cold day, but fire's hot. Oh, we're not that bad, thankfully. We're at 30. I think might have gotten down to 28. Had ice on my tank, quench tank. The donkey's trough is frozen solid. Have to do something about that. All right, let's smoosh this. Flip it over to the side I want to see up. came out looking like a leaf after all. Nothing strange about that one. Despite the maker. All right. Warm it back up again. Oh, fun times. Switch hammers. Go ahead and give this a quick brush, just so I can not push the scale into it. Up. There we go. Something approximating veins through that little cheap cheat. Oh, that's right, I'm not done with that hammer. I gotta make the leaf fold a little bit. Gotta love that I can touch almost everything I need in my Smithy while holding the material in the fire. All right, we'll go over here. We'll use this area on the anvil, the step, as a swage. Allow me to push that in. Come out here. Well, actually, I can show it here easier. Scroll it that way. Scroll it back that way. And now we've got some shape in our leaf. All right. What do I want to do next? Let's give it a good brushing before I take it off the stock and bend it around. Yep, there's my first drop. Must be time for my first, well, technically second sip of a hot beverage. If you can prevent yourself from rescaling your work product at this point, you won't even have to break out a wire wheel. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. All right. Probably just going to snap off in the fire here in a second, but we'll find out. What I just did is got the leaf to stay out of the fire. You can see that in the fire. Right there's the leaf, way out of there, where I'm actually heating up. And I really don't need to heat this a lot. Matter of fact, I probably don't even need to heat it at all, but I'm going to. Grab my flat jaw tongs. Just give it some twisting. It should end up just twisting right off. There we go. Wasn't as weak as I expected it to be, but that's cool. All right, I'm gonna literally make it cool before I throw it on the ground in my scrap pile to use it again next time. Put away those tongs. Let's see what's been going on here. Christmas shopping done, huh? It's been done for me for a little bit. I got it early. And then I also have a wife that takes care of too much of that. Hey, Ben. Scrolling. The great Mr. Pines. Nice, thank you. Yeah, the humidity here just basically steams my mustache the whole time, too. 10 inches in diameter where it broke off. Wow. We've been having frost every morning because of the humidity. Christmas shopping. Uh-oh. Oh, that would be awesome, Ben. But don't rush it. There's so much going on. I plan on, with the time off I'm taking from the live stream the next 2 weeks, I plan on going and putting an order in at Metal Supermarket. They won't deliver to me, but I can go do a pickup. And it's not going to be a massive order because I don't have that kind of money to throw around right now. But that'll get me back into shape again for the next live stream in 3 weeks. I'm also hoping to pick up a propane torch. I've got the propane tanks here. I'd get a big oxygen tank and a propane torch, and I should be good for working on. Hey, Rob. If I get the torch, then I can work on the big projects again that I can't fit in my forge, like the shepherd's hook that I've had on delay for too long. But it's also another one that they're open during the week when I'm busy at work, or they're open on Saturdays until noon, which is, you know, prime time right here with all my friends. Well, I barely know you guys, but I like to think of you as my stalwarts in crime in the blacksmithing community, so. Hey, how you doing? Sully. Had a mouthful, sorry. My wife is phobic, so that good girl is not going to get one of those. Although I am probably going to go buy ammunition for mine so I can sit out here shooting rats in the evenings. Okay, what do I want to do now? Oh yeah, that's right. Let's finish what I started. I got sidetracked by the great community and the fact that I needed a drink. Come on, get in there. It's probably cold enough I could have picked it up with my fingers. Let's go ahead and switch hammers again. I don't need this one anymore. Oh, Ben, there's the Harbor Freight special. I started to char the handle, didn't get it done after I took the varnish off, so I'll have to see if I can make that a finished task. Yeah. Then I picked up this rounding hammer from, I think, from Blacksmiths Supply, or from. This is just a continuation of the hammer talk last week. I don't remember if that was blacksmith supply or if that was a farrier. Supply. That's another thing I'd like to do, is take a trip over to, I think it's Olympia, the farrier supply house there, and see what they have. Pick up another bag of coal, perhaps. Fully electric BB gun. Is it? And that's sufficient for taking out small vermin? Yeah, nabbit. There we go. It's not going to take anything. I just wanted to burn that, so it's not going to take anything to heat it back up again for scrolling. So let's do that real quick. There's my scrolling tongs. I'm going to put the beginning of a tiny scroll on there. We'll have to see what the post-Christmas fairy brings me. Today is the 17th, yes? Somebody on here knew the answer to the celebration of Hanukkah. Are we talking about the evening of the 18th? I assume, is the first night of Hanukkah? And if so, I wish you, any celebrants here, happy Hanukkah. Let's give that a little twist so it ends up being that cute little, there we go. Invent a hammer launcher. Oh, no. Some videos will tell me exactly what to do for making a hammer launcher, right? Is that what you were meaning? There we go. Getting a nice tendril shape out of that. I'm getting to the point where I can finally feel like I can touch cold metal with my bare hands. I almost wanted to just throw the tongs in the fire for a little bit just to get them warm enough to touch. Don't need that right now. I'll put it away in a second. I won't, because I will need it, because I need to bend this out so it makes it look like a tendril. There we go. Or that corkscrew shape we all know. So I will need this again. Put it there. My wife keeps begging me to make her a trebuchet so that she could launch pumpkins or humans, I can't remember which, at the trains that go by us. I'm not a very good husband, apparently, because I still haven't done it. That got torqued a little too not pretty shaped, so we'll make it a pretty shape. Let's warm it up again. I do not like, let's see, oh, almost burnt myself. Had the piece fall out of my tongs while I was holding it over the horn, which I'm being impolite by not showing you that effort. But my tendril got a kink in it I don't care for, so let's just bring it out. There we go. And we'll re-scroll that. I just basically unscrolled it, and then I'll re-scroll it. Use the horn to pull against as you tap, tap, tap. She doesn't. Don't argue logic. And there's plenty of users who have fouled up with the 22. So, yeah. There we go. That's better. Nicely twirly twirly without any very noticeable straight areas. All right. There we go. It started to get a bit too straight. We'll push it back in, which is great because that ends up closing the loop. We can now put a keychain loop on there, and it's ready to be used. But let's see if I can actually clean it up without straightening any of it. Else I'll break out the wire wheel as I do most streams. But I wanted to show anybody that comes along that you don't really have to own the wire wheel to make your product clean. You just have to be a lot more diligent than I am about cleaning it along the way. If you notice, I'm not having to do anything with the leaf. Just the areas I heated up because they got the massive exposure to heat and oxygen. So, forge scale being instant rust, that's what has to get cleaned up. And that is a done deal. Let's go ahead and break out the wax. That wax is going to be hard. Yep. Nice, nice. All right. Wipe off the excess. How's my incredibly French, ridiculous French accent? Now don't make me taunt you again. All right. There we go. I present to you a leaf. Took longer this morning, but I had to warm up, literally. You guys have been busy. I've already gotten 100 messages today. Yeah, I need to find the balsa wood one, definitely. You know what I really wanted to find was a balsa wood Tokyo, because she's a big fan of Godzilla, and she owns, I think it's a Godzilla. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Godzilla. One of those suits that has a fan inside that blows up. I think that it would be a hilariously wonderful gift one time to give her the balsa wood Tokyo, so she could just put that on and we could film her smashing Tokyo. Mm. You have a trebuchet for your work fleet? What? We end up so we live in some rural area here, as can be witnessed by the fact that I can have a Smithy and a whole too many chickens at this point. Um, and one of the products that is grown here annually, because there's a corn, maize, and so forth, are pumpkins. So it's always one of um, those things where she just wants me to go buy the 2x4s and build the damn thing. But 2x4s have been freaking expensive lately, you know, especially for such a silly little thing to build, instead of building, say, a structure for, another animal. But it's going to happen. Just when I get the, get the, what do they call them? The round tuits. I got to get one of them round tuits. All right. Let's go ahead and finish up the slitting chisel I had started I was working on last week. I don't need it. That's actually going to be just fine like that. But I do need a better set of tongs for the purpose. Let's cool these off just in case. I doubt they're hot. Into my ice tank. My quench tank. And I guess it was hot. It's steaming. Oh, that's cold. I want to put it in there and just warm up here. I'm going to do it. The worst that'll happen is I'll discover I have to actually quench it again. When your tongs are too cold to touch barehanded. Oh, yeah, much better. I can touch them now. Touch. Oh, yeah, definitely a photo would be welcome. A T-Rex. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then. I honestly can't remember if hers is a T-Rex or if it's a Godzilla, but I think it's a Godzilla. All right. I'll pull back over my rounding hammer, put this one away, take off my cutting hardy. This is probably not even close to hot enough yet. It's cold out in this end, so I can afford to hold it, and it is hot enough. A little further in. Ha! See? Gid knows. He's seen the photos. Yeah, if you guys ever see a Tokyo, a balsa wood Tokyo set, or even individual things, send me a link. I'm up on Facebook. Yeah, I burnt that off, didn't I? Wow, that was way too easy to do. You see that? Big old chunk gone from just letting it get too hot. Set it up a little higher in the fire. Time to get the grinder out to fix that mistake. All right. I'd like that to be a nice gradual taper that goes all the way up. That's what I'm doing. It's all for looks, though, I think. I don't think there's any benefit in having that long taper. Looks and make it easier to see around when I go to use it. Yeah, I like the way that's looking. And I think I'm going to go ahead and grind that off. I can see a crack developed in there anyway. Let me think about that. I want to grind it off or cut it off. I don't think it'll matter. Let's grind it off. I haven't used my grinder in a while. And give me a reason to stand in a little different spot in the smithy. Yep, yeah, too low. This one. There we go. Now, do I have... There we go. And the battery. I haven't dropped anything yet. How in the world have you gone through so much coffee? All right. I didn't think I'd actually get any grinding in today. And I do have the safety glasses on today. think I've gotten below where I saw a crack. Let's pull it out of there and take a look. Well, let's break out the other infernal machine. I want to really see that and make sure there's no crack there. I know a lot of folks get into blacksmithing to specifically focus on bladesmithing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I realized that I could do so much more than just making blades. When I say just, that's really ridiculous to say when I've seen some of the amazing work that some bladesmiths make. But that the skills actually were transferable. I have to do the exact same kind of stuff. I have to be aware of the same kind of things of basic bladesmithing when making a chisel. So I decided I'd make my tools rather than starting with making blades. I'll probably make blades from time to time, but just haven't decided that's a focus yet. Hey, beautiful. That's my darling wife. All right. There's a difference in, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a difference in depth, a channel kind of right in there versus that which is higher, and it's probably because the material burned away from the surface there. But as I have to grind a bevel there anyway, when I put the blade edge on there, I'm not worried about it. Yes, I told them. I need to go and look up on oh, it's not Thingiverse. There's a similar thing. It's a site for DIYers, how it's made or how to. Anyway, I know there's a site out there, and somebody's going to already have the cut lengths and stuff. And when I get that, then I'll know. I'll be able to price out what it costs for materials, and then we can consider making you a trebuchet. Time to stock some coal behind all this coke. There's that one. That one. And I could put one more in the middle. All right. There we go. Hey, Thomas. Scrolling back. Some free. I've wood here too. I have just never gone and bothered to get it planked. My neighbor has machine. You know, the tool to put your chainsaw into and plank, but we never got around to doing it. When our silver maple fell in our house, what? Has it been 3 years now, dear? 3 years ago. Oh yeah, just because you're here and you just mentioned it, Thomas, I am still going live. I am taking the next 2 weeks off though. I figure I'm not the only one that has some things that could get done during that period that I can't normally get done when I have to work during those weeks, and I happen to have that from Christmas Eve until the day after New Year's off. So I'm going to go and get some things done to make it so that I can do more here on the live stream, like, you know, buy steel. Minnesota, and that's a lot of gas. Wow. That's big time gas money right there. All right, time to grab a glove. Can't really hold this one with my tongs, but I also can't hold them without gloves. So let's go ahead and put some flats on this all the way up. As I said earlier, I probably don't need to put the flats on it, as the fishtail would probably keep it from rolling off, but I like having the practice of doing it anyway. Silkies, oh cool. Yeah, so my chicken farm, chicken math is real, people. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want to enjoy the pleasure of caring for animals, chickens are a great way to go. But chicken math is real. We started with 6 chickens. 6. We now have over 50 chickens. We have more eggs than we can ever eat. We're definitely trying to figure out how in the world to get them sold. And so I have one, yeah, Chicken Rancher, the game, right? I have a set of 3 chickens that were gifted to us that are um, uh, Saramas. They're of the frizzled nature, which means that their feathers are all curly and pretty. Um, and they ended up, they were young when I got them, and they started laying eggs. And we gathered several of them because they weren't ready to start sitting on them. Put them in incubators. 3 of them hatched. One of them is still alive. But the season is not right to be having the baby outside. So it is now an indoor chicken. It sits on my lap, my arm, my shoulder, under my feet, all day in the office. And my wife said, it needs friends. And so now we're about to have a couple of silkies that weren't of the best quality, so the owner, who raises them for show, I guess, decided they needed to be rehomed to somebody who isn't worried about that, and that would be us. And I can't hold that with it is too hot to hold as high up as I need the heat. It is too hot to hold with the glove. So, switching gears. And I just eyeball this, but I seem to have a pretty good eye for getting the 6 sides where they're supposed to be, so. Currently, and my wife was worried that we didn't have enough chickens for the number of eggs we were wanting to try and produce. Currently, we have about a half dozen eggs a day. But then my wife went and ordered 10 Easter eggers, meaning they'll lay eggs of various colors other than white and brown, and 10, who knows what the hell they were, chickens, to replenish losses that we had had in our flock. So if everybody starts producing, we're going to need to do definitely get some advertising out or something for farm fresh eggs. All right. Around the other side. I know what I'm doing wrong. I'll fix that in a second. This would be a lot easier if I just held it from the flat side there. But I need to actually get the taper there. So let's not put it so deep in the fire. Oh, thanks. So it's obvious most folks are here for the witty repartee and not to see me actually smith, because that's how often, as often as I forget to actually change the camera view. Okay. Oh, Kevin. Yeah. It's not meeting in the middle. That means I'm not hitting it. I'm not getting quite 6 sides here. So let's get it hot again and try a little harder. and yet, I honestly don't, I cannot say whether it was me or my wife who decided we needed chickens. I think what ends up happening is I go in and I go, oh, look how cute they are. And then my wife is like, oh, that means he wants them. He needs them. Let's make sure he gets lots of them. Because she loves me. All right, I'm going to do this real quick here. Let's leave this in the fire for a minute. Keep that warm. Let's change this view just a hair because I'm going to do something unusual, or at least different than what I've been doing. So you might as well be in on it. You know, since I'm so good about making sure I keep everybody apprised of what I'm doing by having the cameras pointing in the right places. Well, I mean, I kind of love every animal I ever come across. I'll out myself. I have trouble with the idea that I'm going to kill a bunch of rats. It was really amazing when the coyotes were able to get in our yard and took out a bunch of my chickens. They were absolutely beautiful animals, and I was just so upset that they killed my chickens. So that I went out and grabbed my sledgehammer because I didn't have anything better at the time, and stood guard over my chickens after I, just to see if they would come back, because they did come back. The first time I caught them in the act, then they came back. So yeah. All right, what I'm doing is crazy considering it doesn't want to stay still in the jaws of my tongs, but I'm trying to spread that just because I want it to be pretty. No other reason. Pull that bevel I'm putting on all the way up to. There's no real good reason to do it other than it looks pretty. And it is coming along good. All right. We have 6 sides. It's actually starting to meet in the middle there where it's supposed to. Very pleased with that. All right. Let's get the wacky, no marky. See if I can get this straightened. There we go. All right, warm it up. Smooth it. Yeah, they're my favorite dinosaurs. Chickens are. No, I do love my chickens. They are, well, just not in any kind of way that would get me into trouble. Family channel, after all. Family friendly, nah. Fling the rats into someone else's yard. See, if I could catch them, that would be exactly what I would do. Because I know exactly who I would send them to, too. I have a prime candidate. My wife knows who it is, because she's a host for the coyotes. She thinks the coyotes are cool to have because they keep the rabbit population down. I have to admit, they probably kept the rat population down until I made it so they couldn't get in here. Doesn't mean I want coyotes in my yard because I have chickens. She had chickens too. She doesn't now. She'd be a perfect person to sell my eggs through, except that I'm not willing to talk to her. All right. The wacky no marky goes over there. It's time to change my light power. I need an extension cord out here for it. And then I don't go through batteries because it does take power too, so I just haven't gone searching for where the extension cord is that I could use. We've used them principally in the chicken runs. All right. What did trail dust say? Oh yeah. Yeah, well, and I don't know what destruction they might do on her farm, because she does have a farm, but she doesn't keep animals, I don't believe. She calls herself a community garden, but I don't know who her community is. It's not the folks that live around her, that's for sure. So, that's... You know what? I don't need to get back at the horn anymore, so let's bring you back to where the action will be happening. There we go. Focus on the place where it's going to happen. One of these days I'm going to invest in a new camera, but this is a decent camera. It just takes a lot of manual effort. Besides, I've seen too many situations where the autofocus doesn't work on the situations where they want them to. Hey, we like Crocs and Gators too. Lived around those for too long in Florida. Yeah, and I thought she had a donkey at one point, but I don't think I hear it anymore if she does. And besides, donkeys and coyotes don't get along. That's why we have a donkey now. Well, one of the reasons. final cleanup here. In the cleanup, it will cause some straightening. And I've realized if I bring these tapers back further, then I'm ready for it being tapered in the next thing I make with this material. That's why I'm about to flip it around. All right. And now, of course, it's not in the right shape, so let's get the wacky, wacky, no bend, marky, marky. It is possible for the anvil to still mark it, but it's better than marking it on both sides. The smell of rawhide. All right. Keep forgetting I'm going to do this, so let's do it now. Flip it around, grab hold, put it in that way. I did say hi to them. Ask him if I have to call him doctor now. Pigs are amazing creatures. I think that they, the traditions that don't let you eat them is because they are too close to God. That's how good they taste. And I know that's not why. I'm just... All right. Finish the cleanup. Come on. All right. I'm going to go ahead and continue making that go all the way down to the end. Then whatever I make with the other end will be already done. Gators in Minnesota. Unique, yep. From the other side of the lake. No, you used to be willing to see them, and then watch the guys in kilts jump when they actually moved. Oh no. And then you eat gator tail. I got to start collecting all that and selling it in tiny vials. pulling that all the way back. It is much harder to hit when it's in a jaw that doesn't want to keep it from sliding side to side. This is where I need a blade tong. Let me get this straighter. Blade tong would make it much easier to deal with that staying in the jaws of my tong without wobbling about. So now I got to go look up how to make one of those, and use up 2 more of my railroad spikes. Aha. Let's see if that will work. Bolt jaw tong that I made might do the trick. We'll see. Man, those tongs are cold. I am their leader. Yep, that's right. 3 weeks from now, it's forging box jaw tongs if this is not the solution. But I think this might be the solution. Because I need a tool to be able to make my tool, apparently. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that should hold it. We'll see. That's the flat side I already did. This is the flat side I'm going for. Yeah, it's still twisted on me. And the problem is, if it twists while I'm hitting, I'm not hitting in the right place. All right, it did not twist. That's good. Let's go across here. Now, you silly thing, hold on to the corners I made. I know they're not terribly sharp corners, but they're corners. God dang it. Yeah, they're not very good corners there at the... Looks like my bolt jaw tong is not a big enough bolt jaw tong for this to work well. I could make it work well by heating it up and bending it around the piece I'm going to work on. What's the likelihood I break it off when I do it? I'm going to do it. Don't do it. I'm going to do it. Getting Lisa drop off? No. He was saying bye to Christina, I think. I've never actually seen an online smith adjust their tongs mid-use to accommodate a different use than what they were originally made to do. That's what I'm doing. Just seems like the right move right now, or else I'm not going to get the outcome I'm looking for. All right. This is where I determine if I'm going to snap it off or not. Uh-oh. Thing slipped on my camera. Silly camera. Come back on. Come back on. So it requires a physical hack on the camera to get it to do what I want it to do. The hack is hilarious. I might even show it to you because it's that funny. So the physical hack on the camera involves a hair tie and one of those metal straw tips to keep a constant pressure on the shutter button. Because the camera can sit here, as you just saw, for a time without taking a picture, showing you on your HDMI feed what it's looking at. Ah, son of a gun. Ice bucket. Oh, dumbass. Well, that's a good reason to take 2 weeks off. And I didn't curse. Ugh. That's gonna sting for a while. Let's keep doing what I was doing before I run out of motivation. Big dummy. Big dummy. All right. There's me making the tongs fit the workpiece. Let's hope that works. In the meantime, we're going to just regularly dip my hand back in an ice bucket so that it stops cooking. Because I completely forgot that first rule of blacksmithing, that all metal is hot, as I was going through my process. Oh, that's cold, but it's good for me right now. All right. Let's get this heated up. Oh, this was more than a forge kiss. I literally picked up the hot end and dropped it really fast. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll show you. I've got some, I dropped it really fast and then I plunged it into the ice barrel, so I didn't lose skin. I'm going to be fine. It's just going to tickle. Did I just warrant I might be a redneck situation? Oh, you mean the jerry-rigging I had to do here? Yeah. But that's the nature of this particular camera. It's a really good camera. But my wife and I both agreed that the best camera is the one that you actually have with you. And we didn't always carry that one around with us, but it turned out we always carried around an iPhone camera. So that's the camera we started using principally, and this one started collecting dust. All right. Oh, that didn't tickle. But I got plenty of cold things on me right now to grab and cool the burn and ease the annoyed nerve endings. All right, let's continue the project, which is to quickly establish a bevel all the way down. And it's working. It's not twisting anymore. So perfect. Clean that up. Let's go ahead and get it hot again. I might be causing stress fractures at the end there because I didn't get it hot while working it. Hot enough before working it. Hey, Jurgen. Oh, that's cool. Now you just got to get him to come over and hang out with us. You just missed me reminding myself, Jurgen, that the first rule of blacksmithing. It's a painful way to remind yourself, but remind myself I did. Smoothed out. All right. Let's do it again on one more side. Two, technically. I did make that so it doesn't come up so often, right, guys? I think I did that last week after the stream. Yeah. Seems like the simplest way, I'm just saying this out loud because I just started doing it as I was working on this end. The simplest way to establish that bevel is to use the rounding side. Yep. Didn't keep it tight enough. Let's try that again. Is to use the rounding side of my hammer that pushes it out. And there we go. So I don't know if this is established technique or just something I tripped over, but it does seem to work for me. Just planishing now, blending. All right, there we go. We have our hexagon. And it wasn't until this week that I learned why a hexagon. It just had never dawned on me before. But then somebody posted a picture of what to me looked like a bunch of Craftsman screwdrivers that they had slipped a box wrench over. Now obviously a box wrench isn't going to do me much good here, but it turns out that is the reason hexagon was established as the norm. Just crisping up the corners, straightening things out. Okay. About the only way I think I still see an arc is against one of the corners, so time to get out the wacky, no marky. That's a whole, for the folks in here who haven't hung out with Gid and myself, I first heard a phrase similar to that when hanging out with him and his ilk, where they would hit each other with real swords and stuff. They would wear armor appropriately as well, but yeah, that was a little bit more invested than I was willing to be in Renaissance reenactment stuff. But they did have what are they called? Schlagers, epi, fencing, that's it. And you would practice your fencing with what I believe is called a shinai, aka in our group, a wacky, no pokey. Yeah, that's true. It is lying to you. But I'm not taking 3 weeks off. I'm taking the next 2 weeks off. But yeah, it's lying to you. All I'm doing now is dressing it up, trying to make it so that every one of the sides ends up looking the same width. It doesn't have to be exact. I don't plan on actually putting a wrench over it, but it is nice to feel proud about my work when I look at it. So, about this rawhide hammer, this was a Christmas gift last year, and I asked for this one specifically because there was this contest about making a wooden mallet um, heavy enough to do the job. And it dawned on me, well, if I had to do it, I would basically create something metal to hold blocks of wood into. And then I was like, I wonder if something like that exists. So I went online, and first thing I thought of was, wait a minute, I think I've seen rubber ones and rawhide ones. I don't have to have a wooden one. And lo and behold, it was there, so it went on my wish list as something to get someday. And the kids got it for me. Welcome back. All right. I think this is close to done. And that's about as straight as I think it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around and not be stupid this time and grab it with my hand. All right. That looks pretty good. There's one spot here I'd like to clean up. I'm going to warm it up first. And while this looks like an extra long slitting chisel, that is not the goal. I just haven't decided where I'm going to cut off the slitting chisel yet and make a different kind of chisel on the other end. Like a little round chisel or something. I have to think about the ones I want to be able to make animal heads. I think animal heads would make interesting pommels to some of the gift ideas I have. Like bottle openers and such. I still remember, Thomas. It will happen. All right, let's go in here. And just reestablish that line. All right, that looks good. And the chisel is nice and straight. Here, Smithy, you guys can look at it with me. It looks nice and straight, right? I think it's a little offset to this side. Now's the time to do something about that. And then we're just going to put it in the fire off to the side where I'll let it normalize. 1046. Good. So, now the question is, how long does this need to be? I could actually cut it now. Probably better to cut it while it's cold, right? Because if I cut it right now, it could actually dull my blade. I'll do that. But looking at this length, that's very long. If I get it from there and cut it right about, well, honestly, right about in half, that's definitely plenty to start my next chisel on the other side. So I think the time was well spent getting it into the form that I did. What am I going to do now? Other than dunk my hand in the water one more time. Nice and cold. Would not have thought nice and cold was a good idea just 30 minutes ago. All right. What size material is that? Nope, that's not what I want. What is that? Well, that'll do the trick. 10 minutes. Let me scroll back before I start something. Just see what you guys have already been starting. So the answer to your question, Rob, about the rawhide hammer, this is me using it for about, let me just pull it on the anvil, for about 3 months, because I really didn't put it to use before that. But more importantly, the hammers, you just buy new inserts. This unscrews, and you just, or maybe it's a press fit. Yeah, it looks like it's press fit actually. Yeah, I don't think it does unscrew now that I look at it. But anyway, just pop those out and press fit 2 more in, and you're ready to go again. And you got the weight, you know, that comes of having lead or something up there at the top. Exactly. They don't split. They smell, but I'm not annoyed by the smell. I mean, the coal smells worse. I haven't gone looking to see where U is, so I grew up hearing the name, but never went looking to see what that type of tree even looks like. I mean, I think it's the same rawhide, so why not? Ah, but it's not a jack pine, is it? All right. Run out of 1/4-inch stock, make 1/4-inch stock. Quarter-inch square, that is. Actually, it's probably is bigger than 1/4-inch now that I'm looking at it, but it'll do the trick for the moment. It's smaller than what I got. Yeah, that's what I've always heard him for is bow woods. Is that how you can tell them in the forest? Does they have the cool mustaches? All right, that's squared up well enough. Let's put this one away and get ourselves a wee hammer. Sharp taper. Centralize that taper, pull it back into a longer taper. Little straightening, back into the fire. Small material. Yew is toxic, so it wouldn't be good for a food bowl, but maybe pretty for a decorative bowl. Is that what you're saying? No sporks. All right, now for the twisties. Grab, which tongs? These tongs. Don't need the hammer anymore for a minute. And probably these. Yeah, these. Okay, let's see what we can do. Twists wise. Let's not actually try to twist all the way back there. That's not going to work. All right. Japanese. Found out it was killing elk. Oh, yuck. Haha, matinee. What you watching? All right. No, that didn't get hot enough. Let's try that again. See you later, Daniel. I'm blinding myself with the heat of these coals right now. Nope. Because the coals are so bright, I'm just going to have to pull stuff over them because I can't work this if I can't get it hot enough, and I can't get it hot enough because I can't see what I'm doing. All right, let's try that again. Oh, neat. All right, let's get this down low. Let's grab a hold of it and give it a twist. All right. Bring that in so you can see what I did. Got ourselves that first twist. Let's get to the next one. I think I'll switch you over to the vise. Everybody loved the vise view for some, so seems like it's the place to be. Keep herders from grazing their sheep in it. Woof. Wow. See, I knew everybody would love the fact that we were back at the vise. All right, now learning from what, there we go. There's a little bit of heat still in the twist. So now we come here, lock it in, grab it, twist, twist and shout. in the opposite direction, like we did last summer. That looks pretty good. Gives a nice sweepiness like I was looking for. Let's go ahead and heat it up. Yeah? And I suspect it was his favorite view because, I mean, come on. All right. And we quench it off to where I would like it to stop. And then the heat will creep back up in there again. Thanks to Roy for sharing that tip last week. Oof. And we grab it and twist in the opposite direction. Well, maybe. Let's see. Let's see if I need use my wrench. This could get tricky. If I can't get a hold of it, it's hard to twist it. Oh, here. Of course, now it's too cold. I was able to get a hold of it, but only after I realized where. We'll try it again. Yeah, good. Just making sure the vice view actually is active and not a dead camera. All right. All right, Rob, take care of yourself. Have a great holiday. Now, I need to go this way. Yep. Turn, turn, turn. If every season turn. Looks good, but I did take it way up to the top. Okay, so that's the last twist because that's a long twist. Time to take that off the bar and loop it, and that's one more in the books. I will need that in a minute. Put that away. We'll need that in a minute. Won't need that, but I will need the cutoff tool. I'll switch over to the anvil because otherwise you guys get to stare at the vise for a very long time until I realize I didn't move you. It must be time for me to stop my show then. Tooth Numa. Time to plunge my hand in the water again. Nerves woke up. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get my least used hammer. I'll go ahead and cut it off right there. No sense in ruining the hammer. I'll just come over here now, take it off the rest of the way. There we go. Quench that. And it can go back into the steel pile. Grab this with something other than a hand, because that's a bad move. All right. File off the edge here. Just impossible to not have a rag with that cutoff, Hardy. All right, the rest of that I can forge back in. Make this tab and then give it a little color and coating. And that'll be one more of these done, the last one of the season. Perfect. Now I can forge the tab. Yeah. With every season, turn, turn, turn. There is a reason, turn, turn, turn. All right. My twist end's about there. Let's go ahead and see if I can do any half on, half off blows here. Even better than half on, half off blows. I forgot. The whole point of the Hoffy hammer being shaped the way it is, I can use the edge as a fuller itself. Of course, this is not a Hoffy hammer. This is a Hoffy shaped head. But you learn little things from everything, right? And then you try to figure out how you can apply it with what you got. Pre-recorded with live chat. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. That's a pretty cool way to do it. All right. Get the scrolling tongs out. before I end up getting it too thin again. Just start the loop. Nope, that didn't give me the bend I want, so let's get it hotter. That's more like it. There we go. Not quite the shape I want, but it will work. Damn it. I pinched it. I know how to fix it. If you don't like what you made, find a way to fix it. I don't, so I will. I happen to have this tiny little drift that I made eons ago, and I don't even remember why. It's rough, but it does the job. Get that out of the way, go for the Pritchell hole, tap that through. Let's go ahead and use the edge for a change. I've got a lot of round edges on this anvil due to the way Alex Steele feels that it should be done. I didn't have to dress the anvil at all, and I have to admit it works great. And then I have nice sharp edges here on the back, which worked out great. So now I have the roundness that I was looking for there fixed. All right, put that away, grab my brass brush, take the suggestion someone made last week of not cleaning it off. Just brush it with the forged scale already on there. Oh, look at that, it does actually capture it pretty well. Like, people in my channel chat know what they're talking about. Gotta love that. Tell your friends that you all hang out with an intelligent bunch of blacksmiths. They won't know the difference. Now, having sat on this cold anvil all that time, let's see if it's still hot enough to melt wax. It is. Yeah, that or I'm confusing the smoke with the steam from my breath. I don't think that's the case. Good, good, good. There's that. Let's grab it from the other side. With this marvelous invention called tongs rather than hands. All right, there we go. Get in here with the rag. Off with the excess. I think that's the fastest I made an iron sickle this whole season. We'll see next season if I can do it even faster and better. But until then, my friends, I want to say thank you for joining me here these many months. It's been a great way to end the year, and I look forward to seeing your words of wisdom and jocularity in the live stream next year. It's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. You don't know, it's one thing to do these things because I love the art, absolutely. I love being able to share with family and friends, but it's even better when you guys join me live and keep the conversation flowing like you guys do. So I really appreciate it. Happy holidays, happy New Year, and see you in that new year.